up on web snappers. My spider sense is tingling. 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 Tingling.
Spider sense tingling. Spider sense tells me I'm in for some trouble. Spider sense tingling.
My spider sense is picking up trouble.
Something's turning my spider sense on.
My spider sense.
My spider sense is tingling.
Anybody else's spider sense tingling?
Welcome to Walloping Web Snappers, a Spider-Man podcast where we dive into every Spider-Man cartoon ever made. I'm Doug.
And I'm Derek.
And is your spider sense tingling?
It is, and you can call me Mabel.
Oh no. We would like to take a quick moment to thank our spectacular patrons, Bo, Carl, Katie, Jason, Zoe, James, Keith, Cody, Toby, Hamish, Blake, Jace, Jojack, David, Russ, and Christian.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ready to get weird, Doug?
I'm so ready. I'm so ready. We're revisiting an episode and I've never been... Well, that's not true. We just revisited all of Spectacular Spider-Man. I was pretty excited for that. But I'm pretty excited for this one, too.
Yes. And with us today, we'll get into what we're doing here. But with us today, we have a guest. I don't want to keep you waiting. Chris Cummins of Archie Comics and creator of Sci-Fi Explosion is with us again today. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I can't wait to talk about this ridiculous cartoon episode with you both.
Yes.
I'm so excited that we get to have you on for this. Y'all, we love Spider-Man and his amazing friends. And the funny thing about it, I think, is that we've covered it so piecemeal over the entire life of our podcast. The first episode we did on Amazing Friends was way back in episode 8 of our entire podcast. Like within the first year that we did this, like literally like just within months of starting the podcast, we dipped into Amazing Friends. And then we get in and like very quickly into Amazing Friends. The second episode of Amazing Friends we cover is this episode involving a little guy named Mr. Frump. And doing that episode early in our podcast days, we were still kind of getting taking the reins for it, figuring our things out. And I think it melted our brains a little bit and blew our minds a bit. And I think also maybe endeared us a lot to Spider-Man and his amazing friends, like forever after that episode.
Yeah, because I think the fact that we did this one so early and what we started with was the 90s show, which I think we have a lot of respect for and we're probably taking very seriously. And then like pretty quickly just get this like absolutely bonkers ass episode. I think it was the first like truly crazy thing we talked about. So I'm excited to revisit it at this point.
Yeah, so what we're doing, Doug and I decided that the final season of Amazing Friends, the third and final season, is only like 8 episodes. So we decided to just do a full run of that at the end of the year. So in December, starting with December, we're just going to be covering, the full final season of Amazing Friends after we've completed our Spectacular Spider-Man revisit. But before we did that, in our sort of alternating off weeks that we have in between Spectacular Spider-Man, I wanted to revisit a couple of Amazing Friends episodes because, like I said, we did these very early in the life of our podcast, and I think we owe it to this show to do it again, and also other people love this show too. So this is the first of those couple of revisited episodes we're going to do for Amazing Friends on a very famous episode, I think, at least for our podcast. And that's also why we have our guest Chris on today. I almost called you Christ. We have Christ on today. We have Jesus Christ on to bless us and bless Mr. Frump. So we have Chris on because I know you're an Amazing Friends fan. The last time that we covered Amazing Friends, funny enough, on our podcast was our 203rd episode. So like almost, like 80 episodes ago for Along Came a Spider from season 2, which was like the Spider-Man origin story. That was back in October 2023. And our guest on that episode was also Chris. So makes sense to invite you back again because that's also one of our most listened to episodes, honestly.
It is.
Chris, we talked about your Amazing Friends connections on that episode.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
So I guess we've already heard that, but I guess if you want to give, if people who are just dropping in for this one and haven't heard that episode, a quick rundown on your relationship with this show.
I'll give you the old TLDR on this. Basically, like as a kid, Spider-Man was kind of the Spider-Man cartoons. This one and the 67 one were kind of like my introduction to the world of comic books and especially superheroes. And Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. And these shows are a huge part of why I love Spider-Man so very much. And I don't think Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends is the best Spider-Man cartoon. I think that would be the Spectacular Spider-Man, but it is probably my favorite. It's so linked with nostalgia and some really incredible memories from my childhood. So like whenever I get a chance to revisit this show, be it for a podcast or just my own entertainment, I'm super excited to do so. And this is a really great episode. When Derek first asked me to be on, I had this confused uh with an episode featuring the Fantastic Four villain, the Impossible Man, from some other cartoon that I still haven't been able to figure out because we said this. I was like, oh, I hate this episode.
Yeah,
Oh,
that made me
that's a
real worried. I
terrible
was like, that doesn't
episode.
make any sense.
Like
How?
I was so like wrong and shitty about it, and I was just like, oh, I don't. And then Derek was like, hey, it's, and I was like, oh yeah, that episode. Oh, I love that episode. Yeah, it's so weird. So yeah, Mr. Frump, man, wow. I love just like, he's not only beaten up in this entire cartoon episode, but even on the Disney Plus description, they're just like, oh, he's downtrodden and homeless, and he's fired from his job for being a dreamer. Yeah, it's just it's wow. He's what a hero for our times, Mr. Frump is. And this is just a really wacky and fun episode. And I was saying to Derek and Doug before we went on the air that of all the Glitterjaw podcasts I've appeared on over the years, this is probably the queerest thing I've ever discussed on this show. This episode is magnificent. Whenever I celebrate Pride, I think this episode needs to be part of my annual Pride celebrations because it is so unbelievably fun and just unabashedly gay, and I love everything about it.
Yeah, I mean that's another reason I'm excited to visit some of the stuff that we did so early, right? Because I feel like we've come into our own and figured out how we specifically look at things.
Yeah.
And so
we were
I'm
not
sure
gay
it
enough
came up,
in our early episodes.
I think we were
got
being
a lot
very
gayer.
tempered,
Yeah. We're on a network with a lot of straight people, and that's not the case
and we were trying to
anymore,
figure
and
out, figure
Yeah.
things out. And we don't have to figure those things out anymore. So I'm excited to talk about this one. I think Frump is fantastic. And what's interesting, I was just looking at the title, I suppose.
Frump.
But what I think is so interesting is, you kind of talked about this already, Chris, but like for Derek and me, Mr. Frump is like this iconic, unforgettable, like just like all-timer moment in Spider-Man cartoon history. And I was gonna ask if like he left much of an impression on you that you recalled or whatever. And I'm guessing that Derek and I have a very different sort of like affinity and like pedestal for Mr. Frump than maybe the average person does. Does that feel accurate based on your experience, Chris?
Because because I did kind of forget all about him until I realized that like, no, you're thinking of the Impossible Man. You're not thinking of Mr. Frump. And then when I looked in, I was like, oh yeah, that guy. But it wasn't like I don't think in my mind he has this like iconoclast reputation that he does in both of your minds. And I think clearly I'm wrong here because after rewatching this episode literally an hour ago, I was just like, okay, yeah, I totally see why this is spoken with like hushed, reservation from you both.
Yeah. The reason I was curious is because and we have other folks whose favorite cartoon is Amazing Friends, so I should reach out and ask them too. And I just didn't think to do it. But I do think when we covered it and the context that we covered it and the state we covered it in, I think contributes to like our impression of it. And I just imagine other folks probably were not expecting Frump to have such an impression on us.
If you're a kid just watching cartoons, it's another cartoon episode. But I think for us, like we're we were doing a podcast, we were going in depth. And again, we did the 90s show, which we were taking relatively seriously, as seriously as you can any Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
But like, that's a sincere, serious cartoon for the most part, you know? And then going immediately from that to Amazing Friends. The first two episodes of Amazing Friends were a Green Goblin episode.
Yeah.
And then the other episode we covered was like Craven. And that episode had dinosaurs in the Craven episode, but like,
Sure.
it's
But there's
still
still
Craven.
like familiar
Yeah.
Spider-Man territory.
And then you get to this, which is like, technically it's a Doctor Doom episode, but this shit is like nothing you ever get in a Spider-Man cartoon. And we hadn't done like the 60s show yet, so we hadn't gone full
Yeah,
on,
see,
wackadoo too, I think.
I get that because the Spider-Man like 67 predated just very briefly, you know, Amazing Friends for me, having seen that first. I was kind of like almost like taking for granted the weirdness of how Spider-Man cartoons get. And like also when it comes to Amazing Friends, like I'm so obsessed with like Video Man, the first iteration of Video Man anyway, on the show, that like Video Man is kind of like my everything. When it comes to like, you know, supporting players in Amazing Friends. But after, you know, this rewatch and this conversation that I know we're about to get into, like he's going to be like number 2 with a bullet. Because it's been 20 years since I've seen this episode, you know, and like thinking about where I was in my life 20 years ago and where I was with my identity and everything as opposed to where I am now. Like I'm definitely seeing things like I just have like I took extensive notes, and at one point I just have like, and I'm not sure if this is for Mr. Frump or Dr. Doom, but it just says party bottom ? So I don't, you know, so that's kind
it's
of
Dr.
like,
That's Dr. Doom.
yeah, I think it's definitely
man.
Dr. Doom in this episode. But yeah.
Amazing.
It's incredible.
Like
it's
amazing.
incredible.
Fetish
It's
Night at the
incredible.
Eagle will never be the same after Victor Von Doom struts in.
Dude.
Because wow. Yeah.
Seriously, put a pin in that for the end. 'Cause
Yes.
I have a fun
Oh, yeah.
screenshot
Yeah.
to share. No, I love that. And I mean, yeah, and I think to your point, Video Man, I think was like the breakout villain from this show.
Yeah.
So I think it totally makes sense for that to be the one at the top of your mind. But we're here to simp Mr. Frump because not enough people do it. Not enough gays recognize this absolute
Iconic
icon.
queen.
Yeah. Oh my.
So
Yeah.
so that's what we're here. That is what we're here to do. So we are talking about Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, Season 1, Episode 3, entitled The Fantastic Mr. Frump.
Boris!
Master?
Go forth and bring me the final piece of the amulet. I must say the mystic words within the hour. Then I, Victor Von Doom, will possess the power of the universe.
Frump, you're a daydreamer. You're fired.
Mr. Frump, didn't you used to do odd jobs for my aunt, May Parker?
May Parker. She was so nice to me. It would be wonderful to see her again. She was the only one who was ever nice to me.
Hey, Doom, I didn't know you were into magic. Want to see some levitation?
You fool! Whoever holds the amulet when the ray returns will become the most powerful being in the universe!
Hey, gee, what's this?
Look! It's weird old Frump! Funny Frump! Looks like he lives in a garbage dump!
Oh, go jump in the lake. Can I really make my wishes come true? Hot dog. Hey, a hot dog. I want new shoes and fancy clothes. And a gilded carriage with 6 black horses. And those nasty boys will be my foot servants. I want someone special to be my friend. Forever and ever. Wonderful. I'll call you Mabel.
If you haven't like canceled your Disney Plus subscription yet, and you're watching this on Disney Plus, this is listed as episode 2 there, not episode 3, just FYI, because they moved the Crime of All Centuries episode that technically originally aired before this later in the season for whatever reason. So FYI, in case you're wondering. But this episode, the synopsis per IMDb is Mr. Frump, a downtrodden homeless man. Was he ever They don't think they established he's homeless.
not explicitly.
Where does it keep coming from?
It's just
He like walks around in like a nice little like outfit with suspenders and a bow tie and everything. Like he's doing fine. I feel like he's just struggling to have a job. That's all.
Yeah.
Anyway, he gets a hold of an ancient amulet that Dr. Doom had hoped to use to gain control of the world, of course. As Frump is realizing the amulet's powers and making many new friends as a result. What a weird parenthetical that is. Dr. Doom plots to trick Frump into handing over the amulet. I think that IMDb synopsis was like doing a lot of work that it did not need to do.
Yeah.
I think you could have simplified that.
I feel like the fact that the spider friends aren't even mentioned in the synopsis says so much about what's actually good about this episode.
Yes. The original air date was September 26, 1981. We originally covered this episode as our episode 9. We're on episode 289. This is our episode 9, 280 plus episodes ago. On June 4th, 2019. So like 6 years ago that we covered this one.
Wild.
And here's the other thing that we used to do early days that we didn't used to do. We aired this. The title of that podcast episode is under the combined title, The Fantastic Crimes of Kraven and Dr. Doom, because we did the previous episode and this one in one. Which I always found funny because then going forward, we would always refer back to this as the Frump episode. But if people looked through like our podcast episodes, they would see nothing with the name Frump in it, which was like a severe like mistake on my part for like suggesting that to be the name. So that's one reason why we're doing this, revisiting this now, is to rectify that.
Get
and have an
Frump in the
episode
feed.
that has Frump in the title.
SEO madness.
Yeah. So there you go. That episode's also like 3 hours long or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
So don't listen to that. Listen to this one.
Yeah.
I also want to bring up the comments on our original show notes. I'll paste it so you can see it too, Chris. There's like a comment thread that I found in our original show notes from 2019 from between Doug and I, like commenting on the notes, where Doug says, this is dated May 19th, 2019. So you can see how far before we recorded this, where Doug just says, this period, episode period, though period, in all caps. And I reply in all caps, you weren't kidding. And then Doug replies, good freaking luck to us in about 2 hours attempting to recap whatever the heck we just watched, LOL.
Yep. We had no idea.
That
we
was
had
the vibe.
Truly no idea what we were walking into.
We grew a lot from this episode, and I think we're much more skilled podcasters now, and we know how to do. We can tackle the weird shit now. We hadn't.
This was
would
the true
eventually,
gauntlet.
Yes, and then it's sort of like this prepared us, so then we could like fully embrace and experience like tiny guy inside of a regular sized guy, with Spider-Woman, and truly appreciate it. Like this was our primer for all the truly bananas shit we would eventually experience in every other Spider-Man show. So thank you, Mr. Frump, for helping us along that journey.
Yeah.
Talk about the people who made this. We've definitely talked about these people before, but it's always fun to restate, especially if you haven't listened to our Amazing Friends coverage in a long time. This episode was written by an icon herself, Christy Marks. Like I said, we've talked about her plenty of times before, but always worth shouting her out. She's probably most famous for being the creator of Jem and the Holograms, of course, a fucking icon. Another iconic gay thing too.
I love her so incredibly much.
Her influence, man.
Yeah, just look at like the episodes she's written and like the different shows she's written for aside from Jem, and like she would be legendary because of that and that alone. But like, damn, yeah, amazing.
She runs the gamut, and I don't remember the extent to which we've talked about everything else that she's done, but like she's dabbled in many genres. She's written on stuff from like 80s tunes like Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joe, famous late 80s cartoons. She worked in the 90s and 2000s on cartoons like Reboot, Beast Wars, and X-Men Evolution. Very famous cartoons from that era. Then she would also work in live action science fiction TV, like the 80s Twilight Zone reboot, Babylon 5, Stargate Infinity. So she's got her hands in those things too. She's also written video games. I don't know if we ever talked about this. So she wrote and designed the 1990 graphic adventure game Conquests of Camelot, The Search for the Grail, and then in the late 2000s she'd write on like license games, like a CSI license game and a Lord of the Rings video game too. So she's done it all. Truly done it all. Like
nothing she can't do.
Incredible lady. Truly.
I love too that she also has like a book about the Chicago fire. And it's part of the tragic fires throughout history line. So like what a Renaissance woman she is. So yeah.
Like that's my favorite kind of person, because like that's who I aspire to be. Is like not a jack of all trades per se, but someone who's just like, you can't necessarily pin down the one thing that is their thing. It's sort of like you might know that person as the person for this thing, but then you realize like, oh wait, but for other people they're the person who did this thing, and for other people the person who did this thing. You just have many like interests in many ways, and in all those interests going very heavy into it and making something out of it. Like I fucking love that so much.
Such an incredibly cool career. Like
yeah,
it really is just like you get the sense that she just has these very like passionate interests, and is just such a skilled writer that she's almost like, you know, a chameleon who can just adapt to the different interests within her mind, but also within like pop culture, to be writing for, you know, everything from like G.I. Joe to Spider-Man is incredible.
And to be a woman in all of those fields too, like all of those are genres that are like notoriously like, you know, male dominated, and the fact that she breaks into them, creates popular shows and works on popular shows within them, you know, and for video games too. Like I love that. It's so cool.
These Conquests games, because there's at least one more of them that she writes, look like literally visually look incredible. Like I want to play them just to look at them, but now knowing that she also wrote them, it's even one more reason. These look so cool.
Right? Very cool. What a cool lady. Director wise, we've, you know, if you listen to our podcast long term, you hear us talk about it all the time. It's really hard to pin down who exactly directed what episode, because they just kind of credit everyone. So unless they have talked about it at some point, it's hard to know who actually directed it. But the supervising director of this show, Don Urwich, is a really important one. He died actually in 2021. So that was after we originally covered this episode. He has since died. Variety has a really nice obituary on him that you can find, because he had a really long 40-year career. He worked a lot with Hanna-Barbera, did a lot of Scooby-Doo installments. He directed on cartoons like Super Friends, and this is for you, Chris, Fonz and the Happy Days Gang. He also produced 85 episodes of G.I. Joe, as well as the G.I. Joe movie. You know, that's only scratching the surface. Like if you've watched a cartoon made in either the late 70s through the late 80s, especially the ones that just like got reran a lot. If you're watching Boomerang, you know, with Cartoon Network, you probably saw a cartoon that Don Urwich worked on. He probably, or at least touched it in some way. He's worked with like Tex Avery, Mel Blanc, Don Messick, Casey Kasem, Ringo Starr. Like he's squarely in the cartoon world, but he's done like he like the dream career in terms of working in cartoons. So yeah, great people working on this show and on this episode.
Yeah. And like it's not always the case that we know these things, but we know who voiced the two major characters in this outside of the Spider Friends, which is cool, and they're both pretty cool. So we do get Dr. Doom in this one. Dr. Doom I like so much more than any of the ones we've seen.
Oh my god, this is
the show. My god.
Maybe and the 90s show, to be honest. This is maybe
the
like
90s show.
This is maybe the only good I guess Ultimate Spider-Man's Dr. Doom.
I was going to say Ultimates was pretty good, but I think that
fun.
also gives you an idea of how I think the cartoons tend to tackle, or Spider-Man cartoons.
The dearth of good Dr. Dooms and Spider-Man cartoons. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But this Dr. Victor Von Doom is voiced by Shepard Menken, who is an interesting person. He began acting on the radio as a child and then transitioned into film as an adult. And then after voicing Wally Bird for Western Airlines, who popularized their "It's the only way to fly" slogan, he then appeared in a bunch of voice roles in the mid-50s onward. So like did this campaign for Western Airlines, and then was like, great, cool, I can do voice work now. I did a famous thing. His longest running and most starring role was as the inventor Clyde Crash Cup in the Clyde Crash Cup segments of the Alvin show, which do not feature the Chipmunks.
Wait,
which I find very funny. So
Alvin...
the Alvin show is a Chipmunk show that has
Right.
4 segments. One is the Chipmunks. 2 of them are musical segments featuring the Chipmunks.
Okay.
And then for some reason, the 4th segment is just Clyde Crash Cup, who's an inventor who tries to invent things that already exist and usually does a not great job at it.
It's actually a really, really fantastic cartoon and pretty much forgotten now, because when people hear Alvin and the Chipmunks now, you know, there's kind of a like, as we're recording Alvin and the Chipmunks, that whole franchise is actually up for sale right now.
Oh,
the
wow.
rights owners are trying to sell it. So yeah, it's...
Do we think Clyde is part of the package?
I would hope so. But the original like 60s cartoons are great though. If you ever get a chance to watch them, I think they're on like Internet Archive. I definitely need to put them in Cosmic Cartoons at some point, because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I am so fascinated by this character that's in the show that doesn't intersect with the Chipmunks in this show at all.
They should have.
He does.
They should have brought Clyde Crash Club into the Squeakquel. Like, it's a mistake that they left him out of the franchise.
Maybe they would be taken more seriously now. You know?
Yeah, they wouldn't be up for sale if Clyde Crash. We can't say that name. Clyde Crash Cup. Jesus.
Justice for Clyde. Well, in addition to being credited on Amazing Friends as a member of the voice cast, he's technically credited on every episode, whether he actually voices someone or not. He provided voices for the 79 Plastic Man series, Goldie Golden Action Jack, the 80s Alvin and the Chipmunks show, but not as Clyde, and Saturday Supercade, among all sorts of other shows. So I love that the 2 things he's famous for are Wally Bird and Clyde Crash Cup. It's beautiful.
Here he is as Mr. Doom. I love it.
It's
Mr.
a really
Doom,
fun vocal effect they give
Mr.
him too.
Doom.
In this.
Dr. Doom, not Mr. Doom. He does have his PhD.
Mr. Doom.
Respect him.
And then the man of the hour, Mr. Frump.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Voiced by Alan Young.
Yeah.
Alan Young is famous for a few things. He is probably very recognizable to some folks as the human star of Mr. Ed, which is the show about the talking horse. He is the man that can hear the talking horse when no one else can hear the talking horse. Right, right. He also had his own show, The Alan Young Show, which I find fascinating because it started as a radio show, and then it went to TV, and it was a variety television show, and then it was briefly like a sitcom that was like well received, and then went back to being a variety show, and is all, I believe, considered like the same show technically, which is fascinating. And like wasn't very long lived, but he won several Emmys for it. So I want to find episodes of the show because that fascinates me.
Cool.
Yeah. If you don't recognize him from on-screen stuff, you have almost certainly heard his voice as Scrooge McDuck in tons of stuff over the course of 30 years, and he did it like basically until he died. He voiced Scrooge McDuck.
Wow. I'm sure I knew that from the last time we covered this, but I don't remember that at all. That's cool.
Yeah, and then, you know, all sorts of other credits. He voices a couple main characters on Battle of the Planets, which was a Gotcha Man adaptation.
Oh, cool.
He was in the 80s Incredible Hulk, those same Plastic Man and Saturday Supercade shows as Mencken, a number of Smurfs in the 80s Smurf series. He was Dr. McDonald in Static Shock. And then this is probably my favorite because I actually remember this character quite well. He was Harvey's adopt-a-grandparent, Mr. Barry, in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Do you remember that episode, Derek? It's like where Libby, it's like, I believe it's the one where like Libby has to be good and they all like adopt grandparents.
It's
very ridiculous.
Was it from like the first, what is like the first season or something? Was it an early one?
It was an early one.
I'll look it up.
But yeah, iconic role of adopt-a-grandparent Mr. Barry.
Love it.
And of course, amazing performance of a lifetime as
God.
Mr. Frump.
Yeah.
Just the way he says Mabel should have gotten it.
Mabel. Mabel. I shall call her Mabel. Incredible.
It's the best.
Like you can hear the dead eyes.
Right? Well, as challenging as this may be, let's get into what happens in this episode.
Yeah, this is gonna get chaotic inevitably. So yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot how this episode started though.
Same.
It starts in Latveria where Doctor Doom has an assistant, Boris, who's like this guy in like a blue hat and a pink coat that like never appears again after this one scene.
Yeah, who's Boris?
Where the fuck did this guy come from? And he just disappears.
Boris is just like Doctor Doom's like boyfriend or what? Who is this man?
Doctor Doom doesn't have boyfriends. He doesn't have commitments. He does his he has his fuck buddies. That's who he
One
has.
of his boys.
One of his boys.
Yeah.
It's one of his boys. Yes. Whatever. He's getting Boris is what I was calling him, to get some, a piece of an unnamed amulet that's going to give him the power of the universe, which is really already setting up the premise of this episode that there's an amulet that can give you the power of the universe and Doctor Doom wants it. Boris gets it and gets it to Doctor Doom. And that's the last we see of Boris, but that's our setup for the episode.
Yeah. Take over the world with a magic amulet. I like this so much more than Doctor Doom trying to like take over the UN.
I'm
this
so glad
is
there's
fun.
no United Nations in this fucking Doctor Doom episode.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. No
Magic,
United Nations,
mysticism.
no robots. It's Doctor Doom and a magical amulet, and he's on his own and just getting into shenanigans. It's so good. It's so good.
It's great. It's great. So I also forgot where the Spider Friends start, which is going to a basketball game for some reason.
There's this really amazing scene where it's just like Peter is running out of the house and Aunt May is like, "You forgot your umbrella." And Miss Lion brings out the umbrella and Peter's just like, "Fuck y'all. I have to run to the game." He's on his way to the game. And like there's no like setup other than he really, really wants to get to this basketball game. And it's a scene that does not need to be in this episode at all. There is no reason for this little bit of exposition and the Miss Lion joke to be in there other than it's just like this episode isn't long enough. We need to pad the runtime. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Let us prove to you they have lives.
Right, because then you don't even see the basketball tournament, the basketball, not tournament. I'm not using the right words. Basketball game. They just play games, right? Basketball game. They just cut after that game where they're going home carrying white flags.
White like sport pennants. White,
I know.
Just generic white sport pennants. That's
so funny.
That was sending me, as they say, because I'm just like, there's no like Empire State University or anything on the pennants. They're just blank,
just a blank white flag,
and it's like they were surrendering to the opposing team.
We
and
forfeit.
Loving it.
We forfeit.
Yeah.
So goofy. So funny.
Go failure. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
This is where they run into Mr. Frump. This is where we see Mr. Frump. Mr. Frump has just been fired from a job for, like you mentioned earlier, Chris, being a dreamer.
He's such a dreamer.
He's just a dreamer.
If
Mr. Frump just dreams.
Being a dreamer were a crime, we'd all be in slumber jail.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's just honk shoe time.
Yeah.
I mean, is being a dreamer just like, just coding for just like being a little too out there, being a little too
eccentric,
a little too eccentric, a little too limp-wristed,
A little too light in those loafers, I think.
A little too light in the loafers. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think it's also smart that they establish that the Spider Friends know Mr. Frump, or at least Peter does specifically, because it is someone that helps Aunt May with odd jobs, which isn't just like a throwaway reference. It's actually very important to this episode. It's a nice bit of exposition, because you don't really, I don't think it clicks that that's anything important. It's more just like, whoever this guy is, Peter at least knows him. So if he becomes important, then there's a connection. But the Aunt May connection like makes a ton of sense for this episode.
Yeah, and I have to interject a lot of subtext that I created in my head about Mr. Frump, Aunt May, because there is an age difference. Like, Aunt May is older than Mr. Frump, but not significantly older, right? And this reminds me of an experience I had as a young gay kid, which I'm sure a lot of our listeners who are queer probably had too, where like, to me, I always used to love and sit around and hear like my mom's friends like gossip and like
Yes.
Yes.
like learn about them and what they're saying, and like help them in the kitchen and stuff. My mom had this one friend, her name was Mrs. Warnick. She was an icon, and like we would talk about like she was really into like the David Letterman show, and like because I couldn't stay up that late, she'd tell me about the bits and stuff, and then she'd give me like neighborhood gossip of like who was doing what, because there was like this little store in my neighborhood that was that a bunch of the people in the neighborhood had worked at, and she'd be like, oh yeah, she was doing this and this person was doing this, and like it's spreading like really kind of like innocent gossip about people. But I would like at family events when they were over, I would just cling to her and just be like, oh, tell me more about this, and just like totally just worship, like I didn't care what any of like the uncles were doing, because they were all talking about sports, but the women were in the kitchen like smoking and spreading gossip and eating and sharing recipe information and like just spreading the dirt. And for me, that was like such a lifeline at family events where I felt like seen, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like
it's so
in my
relatable.
mind, Mr. Frump had known May Parker forever. And like, so, he would just like help her out around the house and she'd give him some money. And then they just like dish on like, did you see what Angelica is wearing today? Oh, she's looking like such a whore these days. I know. What do you think her and Bobby are doing? Like, it was just like, I think there was like a lot of that kind of like juicy kind of dish in their relationship.
I am so obsessed with the idea that Mr. Frump, when he says that Aunt May was the only person that was ever nice to him, it's because he's a weird gay kid and she's the only person who was nice to the weird gay kid. I
love this.
am obsessed with
I'm projecting a lot, I know, but like,
I accept the headcanon wholeheartedly.
Well, and there's so much room for interpretation with this guy, right? Like you don't really know what his deal is. They give you a lot of information to make it clear that like wherever he's at in life, he feels that he's at an unfortunate place where he's not finding any sort of success in any metric that he would define that by, right? Like so that's all we know about him. Like we know that he gets fired from jobs. Every piece of media keeps telling us that he's homeless, but we don't even know that much. You know what I mean? Right. Like we know nothing really. So like there's so much room for interpretation for this, which I think maybe is kind of the allure of this guy, that we spend so much time with him and theoretically we're getting to know him through his actions, but we actually don't really know that much with him. So it's very easy to like kind of come up with whatever tale you want from him. I do think that the queer reading really ends up kind of working though for that right off the bat. And I do think that because his relationship with Aunt May in this, I'm sure that someone could argue that they were trying to do a romantic thing, but I don't think it reads like that.
I think it reads so much better. I think his receptiveness to how she feels and his desire to come across like in an impressive but also like respectable way towards her reads so much more like someone he looks up to and admires as someone who like helped to raise him in some way, or sort of like kind of adopted the little gay kid. You know what I mean?
Proud
like,
of me, mommy figure, please.
Right. It makes so much more sense to me in that context than him trying to impress her as like a romantic interest.
Yeah, it totally does. And he's very childlike too. So like, I don't know that he's even thinking romantically. There's nothing about
like without spoiling anything. When we get to his wishes, there is nothing romantic related that when he gets his powers, he brings into reality. So it's just like, it's very interesting that like he just sees May Parker as this woman who he can be fully himself around, and he helps her out, and in return, I mean, she pays him a little bit to do household chores and whatever, but the real payment is like the nourishment his soul gets from being able to be his fully queer self around May Parker.
Incredible.
Yeah. I love this so much. I'm so glad you're here.
Perfect.
I'm so glad you're here for this episode.
Yeah, I love it. I didn't think I could love this episode more, and I love it even more. Okay.
Yes.
This is a Doom thing, but I also love this quite a bit. And Dr. Doom isn't like the best part of this episode. He's an important part, but like he's not why I love this episode. However, at the embassy when Doctor Doom is trying to like activate this amulet, I do like that his whole deal is like, let's mix some ancient science with some new science, some science with some sorcery, some sort of unknown with new known, in order to actually like extract the powers of the amulet. Episode's not about that, but I like that so much as like this version of Doctor Doom's thing, you know?
Yeah, and it's something that like that kind of concept, like what you call science, what you call magic, we call science or whatever, is like that is like that's like a that's what the MCU touches upon constantly, is like, you know, one person's magic is another person's science in different universes and everything. And so it is kind of like a through line from the comics too, that like that intersection of like sorcery and science. And so like it's not as batshit of a concept. It's a great comic book concept that works perfectly, like in an episode where there's so much to like poke holes in and stuff like that and have fun with. Like that's one that you're actually like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's still one of my favorite Simpsons jokes. It's from one of the future episode, well, like one of the episodes where they're in the future, when Marge is sort of like, life is so much better now that scientists invented magic, like just to explain all their future technology. It's great. I also think like, you know, this episode, you don't have to think about it like very much logically because it's Amazing Friends, but it also kind of solves a little bit of a problem that like, because Dr. Doom at the end establishes that like there's other amulets that could potentially give you this power, but it makes it clear that it's like, but it takes a lot of complicated handiwork to figure out how to even activate it. It takes
you can't just
magic
have
and new technology, right? So it kind of like solves the problem that it's sort of like, well, why isn't any random person picking up this amulet and becoming a god? It's because it's like really powerful and hard to actually activate it. You know, I like that.
Yeah.
Christy Marks is a great writer.
Yeah, icon for a reason. I also love that while the Spider Friends have also like already intersected with Frump, one might be asking the question, how do they intersect with Doctor Doom? Well, a race home. Just a friendly race home.
Oh my god, the race sequence is so funny.
How did they resist the urge to say Spider Friends race for it? Like, that would have been incredible.
They should have.
Yeah.
So funny. Yeah, and one of my favorite jokes this show ever pulls out is like, they're like, all right, we're gonna race, and we're gonna transform into our superhero identities, and like Firestar and Iceman both have their henshin sequences, and Peter's like, I gotta do this the hard way, as he's like taking his pants off,
tripping over his pants. Yeah,
it is so good,
so amazing. I love that this show like fully leans into that, because it's not the only time the show acknowledges like he has to actually change his clothes, and I love it so much.
Yeah,
so good.
It really just so pairs with like Parker's got to deal with all this bullshit in his daily life, you know, even with his team. Yeah.
He's literally like the title name in the show, and he doesn't even get to have a transformation sequence like the Amazing Friends does. It's so funny.
It's amazing. I also love that Firestar is like, I'll give you a head start, and then like gives them half a block head start.
As she flies away.
Yeah,
like, you fly.
You will win. Like, yeah.
Right. You could give them a head start to 1 block away from their house, and you would win.
That's why she suggested the race, was because she knew she could win, and she was like, these two fucking idiots are going to think that they can try to beat me anyway, so I might as well suggest it, and so I can win.
Pretty cheeky, Firestar.
Yeah,
I think the wager was like last person there does the dishes or something like that. Do you think like Peter Parker just like doesn't do the dishes, and this is their way of getting him to fucking do the dishes?
Yeah.
Because they're like, you will lose, Peter Parker.
Pete's aunt is so tired of doing the dishes, she has to hire neighborhood homosexuals to come by and do them. So, you know, it's,
This is how they find Doctor Doom. Because Spider-Man's like, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to find a shortcut. I'm going to fuck these guys up.
These assholes.
And then just like right, exactly. Fuck these two. And then just like accidentally finds Doctor Doom trying to activate an amulet that will make him the most powerful being in the universe. No big deal.
This is on the build. This is on of the Latverian embassy too, I believe, where this is all going down, which is great. Because you know, at one point he's just summoning lightning to create holes in the roof where he's going to create the mystical circle, and I just picture like people from the embassy below him, like, what the fuck is Victor up to at this time?
What's he
like,
doing
what
now?
is he doing? And like, why does he keep having these young men come in and out of here at all hours? You know, it's
diplomacy.
Log it onto Growler for some diplomacy. Yep.
For some, yeah, that's all I'm doing. You know.
Wait. Hold on. I'm so sorry to interrupt, Doug, but I have to ask at this point: what app do we think is Doctor Doom's app of choice?
Oh, well, if it's in 2025, I feel like it's like Sniffies or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sniffies.
I think it has to be Sniffies or Grinder though. I think he
Dr. Doom's not a Growler guy. He wouldn't.
Yeah,
he wouldn't be on Growler.
but Boris is a little husky. But maybe
Boris is
Scruff?
probably on Growler.
Yeah.
But
maybe
maybe they met on Scruff or Sniffy. I really feel like Sniffies would be his bag.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, it's like the boring answer, but I think it's the right one.
Yeah.
But they have them all. Like he can just open it and see. You know.
Yeah.
So maybe he did find Boris on Growler the one time he opened it over the course of the past 3 years. You know.
Sure.
I also always like telling people that like the most popular gay hookup app right now is called Sniffies, and seeing their reaction to that name of an app.
Yeah.
Gay people are fucking wild.
Yeah. My two friends in Portland were like, "Oh, have you heard this thing called Sniffies?" And I was, "Excuse me?" It was just like, what? So ridiculous.
And what is that for?
I think, Derek, you and I had a whole conversation about this. Like, what is this? Yeah. So amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
Find Victor Von Doom on there if you have like uniform fetishes. You know, this is a no judgment space.
His little dot's gonna be right in New York above the Latvian embassy right
Absolutely.
now. That's where it's active. So
yeah, somebody write me the Doctor Doom on Sniffies fanfic, please. I will read it.
Is his photo just like his iron crotch? Like, is that what it is?
Ooh, do you think he's that guy who's just posting a picture of his crotch as his
Is that what most people on Sniffies do?
Probably, yeah.
I think that's the majority of Sniffies.
Yeah, what are the numbers?
From what I've seen of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Anyway, Spider-Man sees that this is happening. He tries to stop Doctor Doom. And Doctor Doom drops the amulet, like as this, whole thing is happening, right? So as his whole incantation lightning situation is giving the amulet power, Doom has to be holding it, but he's not holding it. He drops it. And so they're like, okay, well, Spider-Man finds Iceman and Firestar, and they're like, we got to go find this amulet, I guess. It seems like it's going to give him an infinite power.
We can't let Dr. Doom get his amulet. He can't have his eggs?
Not omelet, amulet. Oh, Bobby, you're so stupid. The dumbest gay man on earth.
This is how Frump gets the amulet. He's just sort of like walking around.
Yeah.
And then as the incantation happens, he picks up the amulet right on time. You even see the spell sort of like worm around Dr. Doom and like down the embassy right onto Frump. Most powerful man in the universe.
Yeah.
Obviously, Frump has no idea what's happening. He just found an amulet, and even he's like sort of like, oh, my bad luck, I find something cool and it's immediately broken. Like, he has no idea. We get a scene where he walks in on a shop to apply for a job, but then the big burly guy in there, who I appreciate the body type of, by the way, is sort of like, no, you don't, you can't have a job, bug off. And Frump is like, well, you bug off. And then unintentionally his powers manifest by turning that man into a giant cockroach.
Okay, but you buried the lead here, Derek, because the man is shirtless and only wearing suspenders.
Is it like suspenders or overalls? Is this, or I read it as like he's wearing overalls with no shirt.
Okay, well, yeah,
which I think would make more
way,
sense. But
it's a very queer outfit, given the rest of this episode of what this man is wearing, which leads me to wonder what kind of shop, like, was he just like going into the bathhouse? What was he doing? Like,
is there a back room in this shop?
Yes, like what, where he turned the man into the bug. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. Like, it was a choice that the man did not have a proper shirt on.
Yeah, and like showing off that chest hair and everything too. Yeah, it's interesting because it's like, even like our queer reading, we're going to do that regardless. But like, even from the perspective of people working on the show, this is meant to be a guy that's like owning a business that Frump is trying to apply to a job with. in what way would you be thinking as like a character designer? Like, well, of course he's going to have you wearing no shirt and have overalls on and be like,
what is the business?
Do you think it's a gear shop?
Ooh.
Oh.
I love that idea.
Because if you're owning a gear shop, no one would question if you're not like wearing like traditional clothing.
Like if he had overalls or waders or something, like into that.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that. Frump also, like, he just sees that there's a giant bug in front of him and runs away, and like the giant bug doesn't realize that that's happening, and, which means that the guy's
idea.
Yes, that's weird. But then the guy and like that implies that the man is just gonna be a cockroach just for the whole rest of the episode. Until things like undo themselves at the end, which is just kind of funny. He's having a pretty Kafka-esque experience, one might say.
Imagine the customers in the gear shop walking into that and not necessarily like questioning it because of where they are, but not really knowing what to do with it either.
You're like, that's a kink I didn't know existed. Like, nice suit, man.
Right, exactly.
Roach play.
Yep.
Yeah. We also get Mr. Frump encountering these like two neighborhood kids who are just being real shitheads to him, just real awful to him. And he tells one kid, "Oh, go jump in a lake," which it's a thing. That's a saying I need to adopt. I kind of love that as a thing to tell something.
Those children run the fuck off.
Yeah.
They are gone. They are weapons, 50 years ago.
Oh man, yeah. Frump is Aunt Gladys, another queer icon. So there you go. Kind of works.
Furthering this episode's queer agenda, he realizes that he can, he has these powers, so he immediately conjures up the gayest of foodstuffs, a hot dog, and like there's an animation error in it, so it just looks like the hot dog is just fully bread. And it's fully, so
I thought it was fully brown. It's like
all
fully the
brown,
bun color.
It's like all
it's all bun color.
Then they it's all bun color, and then they cut to him putting all the fixins on it using magic, and then it looks like a proper hot dog. But
I just realized you did say fully bread. I thought you said fully red. That's no, it's like brown. It's
fully bread. Yeah,
fully bread. It's all bread.
Fully bread is what Dr. Doom is in his off hours. In the Latverian embassy.
Oh my gosh. Frump also turns one of the shithead kids into a giant clam, which seems like a real like horror scenario. Like this is when the episode
the beginning
starts.
Of the horror of this whole situation.
And clam is sometimes used as a metaphor for female anatomy. So
why so Frump turning him into a clam.
Yes.
As a negative. Is Frump a problematic gay?
I think he.
Is Frump one of those problematic gays who's like,
ew,
vagina?
Yeah. He could be.
Yeah. It's like his it like manifests as him actually being misogynistic.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, wait, because there is some misogynistic stuff. Because like, there's some other misogynistic stuff. Because like, it's mainly from Dr. Doom, but Firestar gets beat up in this episode quite a bit. Like she gets her arm grabbed and she gets thrown across, and it's just like it is like the problematic gay hatred of women, but that's more on Dr. Doom than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, Dr. Doom absolutely would be that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Dr. Doom just signed on for like a J.K. Rowling project. I'm like 1,000% sure of it.
Yeah.
like
Excited
that's his vibe. Yeah. Oh,
not pretending to be ignorant of
it.
Yeah.
Like made an Instagram announcement of it. Yeah.
Oh God, who would do an Instagram announcement of signing on to a J.K. Rowling project? Yeah. Oh who would do that?
Ooh, too many people I used to be very attracted to.
Yeah, who's relevant to us would do that?
Yep.
Yeah. I do like that the way that Frump uses his powers throughout the entire episode, even once he like realizes he has them, he kind of treats them like like genie wishes in a way. Like he's basically always asking the universe to have this, right? So he starts testing, you know, he conjures a hot dog, like you're saying. And then he's sort of like, I need a new outfit. And then he gets fancy new duds. He's like, I want a horse-drawn carriage, and gets a horse-drawn carriage. And then he's like, and I want those shitty kids to be my servants. And then he gets the shitty kids as his servants. I like the way that it's presented, because it is very just sort of like, I want this. I want that. I want this. He doesn't just get like telepathic about it or anything, you know, which I think is cool. And of course,
he's very bratty in a way.
He's very bratty. He's a bratty bottom. And then of course, like the cherry on top of getting this whole little swanky rich person, you know, aesthetic that he's getting is he's in his carriage. He's sort of like, I want someone special to call my friend forever and ever. And he summons, of course, a beautiful, fluffy, purple cat. And he says, I shall call you Mabel. In the creepiest way possible. It is so
Who's
funny.
he thinking of? Who's Mabel?
Yeah.
Because doesn't he name a cat at the end of the episode Mabel also?
Mabel comes back. Right. And also, like, there is a little bit of creepiness of sort of like, he's creating matter out of nothing, which goes against the laws of physics. So was Mabel a pre-existing cat that he was it someone else's cat that he teleported over and made her like, you know, hypnotized her into falling in love with him? Is it like a stray cat that he basically rescued, which would be cool? Or did he like manifest a living sentient being out of nothing? Like,
he's a god. I think he manifested like like a living creature.
But then the question raises that at the end of the episode, Mabel still exists.
Yeah.
So there's we'll revisit that at the end of the episode.
I have some headcanon for this. Okay. So Mabel was the cat of his first unrequited love. When he was in high school, he would go over to a friend's house. Again, I'm not projecting at all here. And the friend was a stray friend, but they would wrestle from time to time. And he had and then when they were done wrestling, they would sit there and they'd watch TV, and then they'd talk about how beautiful the cat was and how lovely the cat's whiskers were. So in his mind, he could never have that man, but he could have the man's cat. And that is where Mabel came from.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love that. I think our original interpretation when we originally did this was that like Mabel was someone in his life who like wronged him. And so in a way his revenge was sort of like having Mabel be like a pet that he owned. It's sort of like,
I don't think it's, I think that's great, but it's not quite mean enough. Like, it's not,
yeah. But, and also, I don't know that I know that we established that he maybe is like kind of misogynistic, and he'll hopefully unlearn that behavior, but I don't think he's someone that is like spiteful. I feel like from this episode, it feels like he's easily manipulated into doing bad things and being mean to people, but I don't think that this is a guy who really holds a grudge, it seems like. I don't get that sense, which I think makes your interpretation, Chris, make more sense for this guy, where it's just like, oh, I wish I could be with this person, but at least I can have this, you know.
I do like the idea that he is basically just like, instead of summoning life, he has just stolen his like in his head ex's cat Mabel, who he put all of his like, he couldn't, all the affection, all the physical affection he couldn't give to this crush, he gave to Mabel.
And I will say that the fact that the cat still exists at the end of the episode shows that some energy can't be undone.
Yes.
He put all of that passion into the cat, you know, and at the end, that's what he remains with. So,
yeah.
I think there's a point to ponder here.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff in this one, I think. Yeah, we got a funny bit too. The Spider Friends and Doom all find the broken amulet at the same time. There's exactly 4 pieces, so all 4 of them get one little piece, which is very, very funny. So they're all just like fighting over these little pieces together.
Yeah. Every time I watch it, I'm expecting them to crash into each other, and they never do. And I don't know why I keep thinking they're going to.
Yeah. But, you know, they have a whole fight sequence, but what basically stops the fight sequence is Mr. Frump just kind of like getting all up in his superpowers and basically like changing the entire world around him. Like, he's sort of like, this overcast is boring. It's so gray. I want lots of pretty rainbows and pretty clouds. And suddenly there's tons of rainbows and tons of pretty colors everywhere. Like, rainbows, gay. There you go. But also, in terms of the surrealist horror, the way that it like uses, like, I've never had rainbows feel so creepy to me before, simply because there's too many of them in the sky. Like, that's a really fascinating sort of like Lovecraftian, like eldritch horror type of thing, where it's like, there's something unsettling about looking into the sky and just seeing rainbows everywhere, which are pretty. Rainbows are pretty. I like them, but it's so unnatural seeing tons of fucking rainbows in the sky and everything be pretty colors that then kind of warps your sense of reality in a scary way.
I have a theory about this as well, which is also drawn from real life. I knew this gentleman who was married for the longest time. And as soon as he got out of his marriage, you know, he came out to his wife and everything, and he got out of his marriage, and he went from like, he was making up for lost time, right? So the amount of partners he had in a very short period of time, and this is not slut shaming or anything, this is just fact. Like, it was just like,
it's a common experience, just like for
like you're
coming out
making up
processes.
for making up for lost time. And so he's it's first kind of being authentic to yourself and pursuing your desires. So in a way, the sky full of rainbows is a representation of him finally trying to get as much gayness into his life that he's denied himself over the years.
I fucking
It's like his
love
first
that.
Pride, where he's wearing like a full rainbow suit.
Yeah. No, I fucking love that. But yo, that's so real.
But,
I think, you know, I know you were thinking of a particular anecdote with that, Chris, but like, I think that's an experience to varying degrees.
A universal
I think
experience in a lot of ways.
It's universal. I think people have that experience to varying degrees, and it manifests in different ways. But I think as simple as like when people like start to really embrace their own queerness and who they are, suddenly their entire fucking social media is like, I'm so gay. I love being gay. I'm so gay. Rainbows everywhere. And I'm saying that without judgment because that's fucking me.
Right.
Like we all do that in our own ways, right? Whether that's like becoming really slutty or just being really fucking out or dressing a totally different way than you ever used to dress. Like, there is something really empowering about like embracing like the queerness that you used to have to keep held, or basically like living through your teenage years or early 20s when you had to be closeted and
not
just
being
doing
authentic
that in your like 30s and 40s.
So
right, not being
when
authentic and being authentic.
When that opportunity finally presents itself, you're going to do it in such a way. And Mr. Frump, and I know this is a ridiculous way to speak about an animated character, but everything is so new to him. Him giving the powers gives him that freedom, and he finds it so like exhilarating that, you know, it manifests in putting rainbows everywhere because he still has the innocence and doesn't quite have the emotional intelligence quite yet to figure out what he's doing through. So instead, he's doing it in a very like superficial way to be surrounded by things he finds pleasing that are gay coded.
Yeah.
This is him buying his first rainbow flag and hanging it up like in his foyer.
Times a million. Yes.
I love this. I love this so much. I also love the fucking red carpet that just unfurls itself in the middle of their fight. It's so funny. It's like kind of creepy, but also like
I think it's so creepy.
Queen behavior too.
It really is. Like like there should be like a queen called like Mr. Rump based on like Mr. Frump from this cartoon on like a drag race. Or
it would be
incredible.
extremely funny to be a drag king named Mr. Frump and have no one understand where the fuck the name comes from, because you could pull plenty from this episode and it would only be a reference to like you and your one friend.
And he does have a series of great outfits in this episode. So
he does. I think the problem that there's always going to be with Frump is that his name is too close to Trump, and people are always going to think you're doing some kind of Trump riff nowadays, unfortunately. Like, I think that has been kind of ruined, which is a real bummer, because there's nothing about this guy that is like parodying, parodying him at all, you know?
that, or people will be confused as to like why you're dressed up in a suit with tails and a top hat, and your name is like Frump, and you're not like Frumpy, because that's where his name comes from at the start of the episode for sure.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so true. That's why his name is Frump, because he's meant to be frumpy. That never clicked with me, Doug. That's so funny.
And like him,
but always a perfectly manicured mustache, I will say.
Yes, it's a good mustache.
Yeah, he transforms immediately into like what he perceives as being dapper and the height of fashion, and he has this very like dandy, look at the world, because the carriage and the horses, so he has this very like gilded
the
age
enslaved
romance.
Children.
Yes, yeah.
I do like that Frump, after transforming the entire world, finally stops to be like, where did these powers come from? Universe, can you please shine a light on where my powers came from? Amazing.
Yeah.
And that's like how Dr. Doom finds out where his shit went, is by Frump like wishing for answers.
Yeah, it is very funny. He just literally just appears in front of him and sort of like, oh, you're the guy who has it. Oh, fuck. But Dr. Doom, I do think Dr. Doom's like whole reaction to the situation is really funny, because like he recognizes the severity of like, oh my God, this guy has like the powers of a god now.
Yeah.
And so he's like very carefully like manipulating him, and like trying. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to be like the dominant one in this situation and sort of take over and just kind of be controlling right now.
He's the gay mentor who's like, okay, I don't want to like stop you, like be gay, but like, okay, let's talk through.
Oh, that's a kinder interpretation that I was having of him, actually.
No, he's like fully like the actual thing he's doing is fully like trying to like puppet string this man and like manipulate his actions towards stopping what he's doing.
He's like, well, I gave you your powers, so we're best friends now, right? Like so we can stay close with him essentially, and then manipulate him into using his powers for his own gain. So yeah. Which, speaking of, he's sort of like destroy the spider friends, and Frump's like, okay, summons the spider friends there, which like my favorite, one of my many favorite things on this episode is just how the spider friends are just at the whims of this man. They really accomplish very little in this episode until the very, very end, because they're just whisked around and jerked around the entire time because they can't do anything. He's got infinite power.
This is why they're not mentioned in the synopsis.
Yeah.
Like they have like so little agency.
Yeah.
They get fucking turned into statues. Frump basically kills them.
He makes them rock hard, some may say.
He does.
He really does.
Yes.
He does.
So.
He really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is also when Frump is like kind of, I don't know, he's just kind of bored with this, I guess. And it's sort of like, I like Aunt May. I want to spill the tea with her. So I'm going to bring her over. So he just summons Aunt May. I like that she's just in the middle of like mixing something, and then she gets teleported.
She's
with
making
the mixer
a cake.
in hand.
Yes.
She's making chocolate cake, and I didn't think to look, but Derek, was that batter chocolate?
I don't think you get a good look at the batter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Spider-Man cartoons don't have a great record with depicting chocolate cake.
It's a weird between the chocolate cake in Spider-Man 2 that is just yellow cake with chocolate frosting that is specifically called chocolate cake. It's not fucking chocolate cake. To Spectacular Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the worst offender because they call it chocolate cake, and like Billy Connors is like chocolate, and it's literally yellow cake with pink frosting. Nothing about that is chocolate. What are you talking about? I think those are maybe the only two scenarios where that's ever come up, but that's still two times that's come up in a Spider-Man.
2 nickels, yada yada.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. But he teleports her, and she's of course like, what the hell? What's really funny though is that, for one, the statues like don't look like anything. Like when they're the statues you see, like they just look like generic carvings, but somehow Aunt May is able to instantly recognize Firestar as a statue and doesn't think like that there's a statue that looks like Firestar. She immediately clocks that this is Firestar who has been turned to stone. And she's like, that lovely girl, what have you done? Doesn't give a shit about anyone else. It's just that lovely Firestar, and is horrified by what's been done to Firestar, which is very funny.
Yeah. She's known that Frump has had issues with women. She's been trying. You know,
Yeah.
she's been trying
Yeah.
to break through some of that
There you go.
misogyny.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. I love that interpretation. Yeah.
And of course, like my favorite thing about this episode, of which there's so much though, is just Doctor Doom is so incredibly jealous of May being there that he basically just shouts, "We don't need her!" at Mr. Frump. And
overly aggressive gay about gay spaces.
He's just so instant.
Yeah.
Like a woman is nearby, and he is instantly crazy jealous of her, and that is so hilarious to me.
That's so fucking
good.
funny. He's the gay who truly like only likes having people around that he would be able to fuck.
Yes.
And if it's not someone that you can fuck, you're
No
worthless
worth.
to him.
Yes.
Yeah. So why would he want Aunt May around? But yeah, I love the jealousy is so funny. It's so funny.
Yeah.
One thing I really like about this next thing with like the powers, because Frump does unstatue them because Aunt May is so horrified. But Doctor Doom is like, don't do that. They're going to attack us. So Frump's like, I got this, and takes their powers away. I feel like we have to have talked about this because it like sticks in my mind. Spider-Man specifically says like, oh, my web shooters don't even work, which is funny because it's not a superpower, but Frump might not know that.
Yes.
So Frump,
Yeah.
as an all-powerful
He's magic.
being, is just like, anything I have observed as a power from these heroes does not work. And so it actually like makes more sense that the web shooters don't work. And I love that so much. It's such
smart.
an unimportant, like totally minor detail that is commented on once, that could have entirely just existed as a convenience.
Yeah.
But it makes perfect sense.
And it's addressed. Like, you know,
Yes.
this is like 5 minutes after they're just going to a generic sports game, waving around banners that have no writing on them whatsoever. You know, like it's in the same episode that they take time to address this little thing that, you know, it's kind of fantastic that they do that. It's a really nice touch.
Yeah. Iceman there's something particularly horrible about his situation because he is still fully in his ice form.
Yeah.
But Firestar, who's like fallen to the ground because she's lost her powers and can't fly, and then crawls over to Bobby from the ground, touches his thigh, like very dramatically, and it's like, "You're not cold."
The idea that Firestar can't fly, therefore she must crawl, is so dramatic. Like,
I shan't walk.
No. This taking my powers away. Angelica, you walk every day.
No. And I mean, that just further enhances the queer value of this episode.
Right.
The high drama.
Yeah.
The high drama, the queeniness. But like Bobby, so
You're not
Bobby,
cold.
You're not cold. But we definitely talked about this originally, but like Bobby is still an Iceman who isn't cold. So does that mean that's just his flesh now?
Yep.
Did Frump just like turn his ice form into just like icy flesh? Is that what that means?
What is he?
That's
what
some
is he now?
Cronenbergian shit right there. Is
Is
what
he-
that is.
Wait, did you ever have those like reusable ice cubes that were just like a thing of plastic with like some sort of liquid in it, and then you just put them back in the freezer or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh
What
my
if his
God.
whole body is just that?
Yeah.
Like
Oh my
he's just
God.
like a weird plastic man with like liquid inside.
Jesus Christ.
He's still an ice man, but he's not frozen.
Yeah. Real missed opportunity to not like melt Iceman.
Yeah.
Like, because they could do that.
Make
you
him
know?
into like a puddle that like talks via bubbles or something. That would have been.
Yeah.
It's funny too because they could have like done weird foreshadowing because there is a moment during the race where he's like, "Whoa, honey, getting too close," because Firestar's flying over him and he starts to melt. So it'd be really funny if this episode actually delivered on that and fucking melted Iceman.
Yeah. There's a lot of monkey's paw stuff in this because like Frump, you know, he asked for all the money in the world, and that means that all the money in the world is suddenly raining down on them, like drowning them. I just love the cut away and then cut back to just Frump and Aunt May like in a giant pile of money screaming as they're sinking.
They're drowning. Yes.
Drowning in cash, but also like
McDuck.
There it is.
but also just like this whole sequence is so funny because like literally everything that Frump wishes for ends up like either blocking an exit or hitting a superhero on the head.
Yeah.
The money, like the Dr. Doom's about to kill the powerless heroes. The only reason he doesn't is a bunch of fucking coins just drop on his head. It's so Looney Tunes, but like it's just like they're taking advantage of this absurd scenario that they're in.
There are some like really cartoony moments of this episode that we haven't even necessarily mentioned. Like there's a moment where Frump, I think it's when he sees the bug man that he made. Mm-hmm. He does like the like jump and then like running without going anywhere, like and then like flies out. Like there's like really nothing this episode doesn't do a little bit of.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, again, they're taking advantage of the wild situation that they're in. I also like, I really like Aunt May in this episode, which is rare for me to say because she often sucks on a lot of these shows, especially in the 80s, because they just use her as just like a little old lady who's super frail and would die if a wind blows in her face or just like complains a lot, you know? And here, like, she's kind of heroic because she sees, for one, she's seeing these like surreal horrors that should be like, any protagonist of a typical Lovecraft story at this point would have already had their brain broken and would be committed to an insane asylum after this. Aunt May is taking the shit in stride and is just trying to convince Frump to like do the right thing. And she's doing it in a smart way because she's not being mean to him or anything. She's asking him honest questions of like, you have all the power in the world. What do you need money for? And Frump's like, oh yeah, good point. Like she does that pretty frequently in this episode. It's just sort of like, so think about this though. Why would you do this if you could do this? And he's like, oh, interesting. You know, which he's kind of ping-ponging between being manipulated either by Dr. Doom or Aunt May. But at the very least, Aunt May is trying to like teach him like to be logical and like have some semblance of kindness, essentially.
These are the same conversations she's probably had with him before, you know, in like less spectacular supernatural ways.
Right.
You know, it's very like Aunt May in this is very, she's usually depicted as like being overly concerned or being very dramatic and you know how she reacts to things. This Aunt May in this episode is very much like extremely old person who's decided nothing will surprise them anymore, and they're just sort of like, why not, whatever, like people can fly now, cool. Like it's just so unbothered.
But yeah, I mean, you know how Frump wishes for a bunch of stuff.
Wishes for the biggest car ever and gets not that big of a car.
Right.
I would just like to point out.
Oh, that's a good point, actually.
It's like a limo, just a standard limo.
Is that the largest car Frump's ever seen?
Like, yeah.
That's probably what it is. Yeah, like these powers aren't necessarily like the universe giving an objective answer.
He's limited by his own imagination, I suspect.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess he must be, right?
I think
you can imagine a massive TV. Why not?
Yeah.
Right.
All the money in the world isn't actually all the money in the world. It's just the amount of money he can sort of conceptualize.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. No, I think that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, but all of this, all this leads to Aunt May just like asking him like point blank, like, what do you like? What's the point? Like, why do you need all this? You've got a lot of power. And Frump's like, I just want to have fun. And that's
girls just want to have fun.
Girls just want to have fun. It's so true. And Dr. Doom's sort of like, you know what's really fun? Men are always thinking of the Roman Empire, right? So don't you want to be a Roman emperor and have a Colosseum? And Frump's like not really, but I guess if you say that that's what I should think, I'll do it. So he summons an entire Colosseum and puts everyone in there, and the Super Friends are inside of the arena, and then they get to fight against a whole bunch of dudes, all of which are prompted by Dr. Doom telling Frump what to do, which I think is very important.
Absolutely, Dr. Doom Spartacus sex fantasy is what's happening during this sequence of the thing. Like the Cyclops that you know was conjured into existence is just this beast unit of a character with a very noticeable like treasure trail going down towards the area.
Yes,
that I was like, that's a choice.
Look, I'm not going to say it's not problematic, but I fully believe that Dr. Doom has fantasies wanting to fuck Genghis Khan. I think that is a real factual thing. So I think it totally makes sense that he'd be like, can you summon that guy?
Yeah.
I forgot you summoned Genghis Khan as well. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird.
Really unfortunate depiction of Genghis Khan.
Yeah,
but
it's like, what were you expecting? Like,
Not anything better than that, that's for sure. But I do think this is fun because Frump, like, especially after being like, I just want to have fun, and has been like making his clothes really fancy and wants a fancy carriage and turns everything into rainbows and summons a fucking cat. Dr. Doom is like, no, like, you know, Dr. Doom, probably somewhat self-loathing and obsessed with masculinity gay, is like, no, you must have a coliseum and fight and be manly.
That is such a good point. Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of like
don't be a sissy gay.
Yeah, right. It's like no femmes allowed. We're gonna be mask
for mask.
Yeah, Dr. Doom is the kind of gay that calls other gays faggots, but like is mean about it.
Yeah, like actually means.
You're like,
it
I
in the
actually
worst
wish
way.
you didn't reclaim that.
Dr. Doom
Yeah.
is very raw as law coded, I think. Too.
Yes.
Ugh. Ay, ay, ay.
Yes. Which raw when you've got like the fucking like iron dick or whatever
Yeah.
he's got.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Yikes.
he's got like a humiliation kink. There's a lot happening with Dr. Doom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Unrelated to any of that, just one of my favorite quick little bits, the way that Dr. Doom whispers to Dr. Frump.
Oh my
and
God.
they still have the like metallic sort of filter on it. And he's just like
It's so funny.
It goes on for so long, and there's no reason. Why was he whispering? Who
It's a good, like, 30
who would it have
seconds.
mattered to
Yeah,
not
yeah.
hear? It's so funny. Why is he whispering to him? It's so funny.
It's so weird. Dr. Doom's so weird.
Yes.
I want to talk about this monster. What is it? It's like a beanstalk. It's like a bird.
Yeah,
it's like a squid. Is it an animal? Is it a plant?
It is.
Would it taste good? Is
okay.
What is it
would
made
taste
of?
Good.
Can I eat it?
The middle part. It it is the most terrifying, I think, alien in the universe is how it's presented.
No, it's not terrifying.
weirdest
it's
creature.
Weirdest creature. Okay.
I think Doom, because I like the bit where Frump is specifically like, I can't think of anything, and Doom's like, send him an alien, because Doom is thinking everything. But Frump can't even go as far as to think of the most terrifying alien. It's more just sort of like, I don't know, aliens are weird. Find something weird. And I think going by the logic that this isn't like objectively the weirdest creature in the universe, because how could you even, what metric would that be? It's just what Frump would imagine.
Yeah.
Like it's within the limitations of his imagination. And so I do think that it sort of makes sense for him to just sort of think of a vague mass of lots of random stuff. Like squids probably seem weird to him.
So it's all like earthly organic stuff. None of it's actually alien.
Right.
So it would taste good. We can pickle that.
Probably. I mean, squids are good. Birds are good. There's a little bird in him.
There's mentioned gelatin,
beanstalks are
Jello.
good.
He's Jello-y.
Right.
Jello?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
He's kind of like an aspic, you know?
What if he just summoned a massive aspic? That'd be so good. I guess he kind of did.
He kind of did.
Weird gelatin creature full of weird stuff.
Yeah. Look, I'm thinking of like, you could come up with a recipe for the actual real world aspect that will like include ingredients that you could theoretically find in this
beans,
creature
squid,
and make it work.
eggs. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think you could make that work. Like I'm not the biggest aspic fan, but you could do it and it wouldn't be horrible, I think.
It's so funny you say you're not the biggest aspic fan, because obviously that's true. You just said it. But if there's one person on this planet that I associate most with aspics, it's you. Because for some reason I feel like we've had
a lot.
Yes,
you know, maybe I need to like make one and see if I can like make a good one that I really like. Because I don't know. I'm saying that I'm not a big aspic fan. I'm certain that I've had like an aspic thing, but maybe I've never had like a savory one. Maybe I've only had like ones that I don't know. Now I'm like I'm questioning myself, because maybe I've actually never really authentically had one. I don't usually like
I definitely have not. I might have learned what it is from you.
Because I don't like things in Jello. Usually, like a lot of Jello.
Oh.
Like
I love
Jello
fruit in Jello.
bowls that have I don't know. Like I don't mind that, but it's not a thing that really does anything for me. I'd rather just have the Jello and have the fruit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that I've ever had an authentic, like savory aspic before. Now that I'm thinking about it, so I think that I'm lying by saying that I'm not a fan, because I don't know if I am. I will make an aspic. An aspic, is that how you would frame it? I guess.
Sure.
I will make an aspic, and and follow up with you and let you know.
I'm
That'll be
very
like a
excited.
weekend. That'll be like a weekend project at some point, and I'll make too much of it, and it'll suck if I don't like it because it'll probably be a big waste of food, and no one else would eat that.
I feel like it would be too much food even if you do like it. So good luck.
I'm looking up Aspic best recipe. Go on. You can move on.
Well, this alien creature is formidable because even though it doesn't quite make sense and it's weird and not an alien, it is large and it is powerful, and it has tentacles. So, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I do like that the Aunt May thing keeps happening, right? Like, we mentioned that Frump really responds well to her. I do think it very, very, very much supports what you were saying earlier, Chris, that this is somebody that has really, like, guided him through life. Because when she is, like, horrified at the creature, Frump is, like, ready to do something about it, but Dr. Doom is like, we cannot let this woman continue to, like, get in the way of our plans. And, like, I don't know if he actually, what does he do? Does he throw her off the balcony? Does he trip her? Like, she ends up in the clutches of the monster, but there's some sort of, like, falling situation before that.
Doesn't he just say, like, get out of here or don't listen to her and then push her?
Oh God, he's so bad.
Yeah, no, he says
terrible.
He
man.
says we don't need her, and then
that's right. That's where he says it. You're right.
That's where he says we don't need her at. Yeah, and then just push right, and she goes into one of the fly trappy hands there.
Yeah.
I've been listening to everything y'all have said, but I just need to say that in my just casual searching for Aspic recipes,
this is amazing.
I accidentally came across a Latvian aspic. Like a pork aspic known as galerts. I don't know how you would pronounce that, but it is like an authentic like Latvian thing.
Whoa.
I feel like I'll have to make this one because it's like it feels too appropriate with what we're talking about right now.
Yeah,
I'm looking at these pictures here, and I'm getting like nauseous. There's one
I'm
that's
sure
like
it doesn't look good.
A 70s.
It does
looks
not
almost like
look
a
good.
little worm. There's one
Right?
I'm looking at specifically.
It's
I
will say the one that
wormy thing, and I don't like it at all.
the one that does look
And I
really
need to
good.
know.
It's a different kind of aspic. It's an old fashioned tomato aspic. It's basically just like a gelatinous Bloody Mary is the recipe, which that one actually sounds really good. I'm going to try to make that one.
I'm in on that.
I feel like I do have to try like the disgusting ones that have meat and vegetables in them. I am positive that I'm not going to like it, but I've got to try because I feel like I'm bookmarking it. We'll revisit this.
Oh, this one has like a whole fish in it. Why?
That sounds horrible. Okay. Look out for the Patreon bonus episode.
Yeah.
Ask us about Aspic.
Love it.
Okay. Where were we? Aunt May fell off, right? That was a really funny moment. Aunt May
not so
fell
much
off.
fell as got pushed by the man who hates
She was
woman.
pushed.
She was pushed.
Aunt May was pushed. I do think this is funny though, because to this point, Frump has undone things that Aunt May is horrified by. But in response to Aunt May being in trouble, he doesn't undo the things that are attacking her. He instead makes himself a hero, the most powerful hero of all time, or whatever he says. And then
Wonder Frump,
and then makes it a point to be a superhero who defeats the monster. What do we make of this?
It is him trying to pass as masculine in a society that he feels will not let him do so. He's internalized his self-loathing, and he's like, this is what it means to be a man.
Oh, Dr. Doom has like gotten
himself.
to him.
He doesn't consider himself to be a man, and so he's going to become this super hero. And also he's going to feel like I can make a difference and save this woman who was important to me. So I think there's a few conflicting things happening at once.
There could be a really sort of like sad, maybe not totally sad ending, but there's like a lot. Well, it is kind of a sad ending, but there it could be that like in this whole hubbub of Dr. Doom like forcing him to make this Coliseum and forcing him to fight and all this sort of stuff, like Frump has sort of internalized some of that and sort of decided that like he has to sort of match the energy when like the answer would actually just to be like your most authentic Queenie self, because we know that's who you are, Frump, and like that would actually be the answer in response to Dr. Doom. But he's like meeting this moment for the first time, and he's like maybe not meeting the moment entirely.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that because I mean, there's I feel like when you're first watching this episode, my first reaction at first was sort of like, oh, this is going to be the turn where he decides to be a superhero and join the Spider Friends, but that's not what happens.
Yeah,
like
No.
he immediately is sort of like, oh, okay, like he does rescue Aunt May, like she's the one thing that's like sort of that's basically like tying himself to his humanity still from this. But he's as after he rescues her, he's just sort of like, okay, let's fight now. We got to fight. I think like to your point, Chris, like there's that weird masculinity thing where it's like he still hasn't like truly embraced who he is while using his powers. He's still trying to put on some sort of facade at the way that he thinks he should be perceived, which in this case is sort of like, I'm a superhero, I fight other superheroes like you and we should fight. And they're like, no, we're not gonna fight you. So he turns their fucking feet into tree roots.
Terrifying.
One of them, it's a minor thing, but maybe the most horrifying thing he does in this episode because it's pure body horror.
Yeah.
Because they don't even, they don't actually illustrate it like they are brown tree roots.
No.
It's like the colors of their feet are the same. They just like latch to the ground, and the lack of reaction from the Spider Friends to this horror, they're just like, oh no. Like Kathy Garver is just like, oh no. Oh. And it's like, that looks like it's painful what's happening right now. And you're literally rooted into the ground with these tendrils that have sprouted, these fleshy tendrils that have sprouted from your feet. Like, again, Cronenbergian shit happening here.
And then Dr. Doom immediately is like, yeah, just turn into a lawnmower and run him over. Like, it's like there's some nightmarish imagery right there. Yeah.
Right. Like, so like, yeah, honestly, Frump is like kind of at his worst when he's in the Wonder Frump superhero outfit.
He's like had a moment where he's like, he's out and he's excited and all this sort of stuff. And then like the first time he's sort of been like ridiculed by some gays who were like too cool. He's like, no, like, and overcompensates. Oh, poor Frump.
Yeah. I also think it's really important that then like you have Aunt May, who has an obviously very negative reaction to all of this because he like picks her up to carry her away. And she's like, no, you're cruel and arrogant and I don't like you anymore.
Yeah.
Which is probably, I love that because I mean, it's very simple, but it's very direct and truly like the words I think he needed to hear because there's nothing layered to that. That is exactly how she feels. And there's no way he can misinterpret what she's saying.
Yeah. You've become the worst version of yourself.
Aunt May fucking rocks. She knows how to handle this guy.
Yeah.
All she needed was a girl bye, and it would just be like the best.
Do they still say bye Felicia anymore? That was like 5 years ago, probably, that people stopped saying that. Where are we at?
Yeah, how do we get from the I don't like you anymore to recreating the circumstances? Because the episode does end with them just like basically manipulating Frump again.
What happens is I think they cut back to Dr. Doom, like while Frump is flying with May for whatever, I don't know why he's flying with her actually. I don't remember why that happened. I guess he caught her and then just continues flying away or something with her. Because Dr. Doom has like a second alone with the Spider Friends. They all kind of like reluctantly team up together.
That's
because he's like, I do want to kill you, but also this guy may be too powerful for me.
Well,
why don't we come up with a lie together?
And that's when he says, we need to figure this out before he turns into a lawnmower and runs all of you over.
That's what it is.
And so they basically are like, all right, we don't really want to trust you, but we don't have any other choice here. He is too powerful, and so then they hatch the plan to, redo the initial experiment or whatever you want to call it that gave Frump the powers.
Yeah. Basically, they come up with this lie that like, hey, buddy, so no one told you, but like your power is going to go away in an hour. That's how it works unless we do this incantation thing again. And Frump, he's not the most insightful guy, so he just takes it all at face value. It's like, shit, I don't want to be a powerless, weak little Frump man anymore. I don't want to go back in the closet. So yeah, we're gonna redo all of this so I can keep my powers. So he goes along with them so they can recreate the whole lightning striking deal to do this.
I know Frump is a problem at this point, and he's sort of at his worst self. But like,
Uh-huh.
is it weird that I feel so bad for him that
I
like
do
all
too.
4 of them are just sort of like
Everyone's manipulating him.
like no one's leveling with him. No one's trying to get through to him. They're just like, let's just fucking trick the guy until
That's
like let's trick him out of his
right.
powers. And it's
I think-
effective, but it's so sad.
It
I think
sucks.
that is
Yeah.
the tragedy, because that's why I like Aunt May so much, because she's the only person that doesn't lie to him. She's
Yeah.
the only person that is straight with him the entire time. And honestly, like the thing is, he takes everything at face value. I do honestly think that if the Spider Friends just tried to have an honest conversation with him and weren't shitty about it, weren't saying it in any veiled tones or anything, weren't calling him names or whatever, we're just leveling with him and being like, hey man, like, I'm really sorry. We really respect you, but like, look at what's happening. I think
Yeah.
it's kind of chaotic. Maybe, give up your powers and we will use our superhero connections to help you find a really great job, because we recognize we actually see you for who you are. Like, I honestly think he would respond well to that, but no one takes him seriously. No one actually respects him at all. And like, they all kind of treat him like trash. So like, yeah, they treat him like he's a fucking stupid supervillain.
It's such a bummer because like Peter knows him from the beginning, and it's like a familiar figure. And like, even though Frump says that Aunt May's the only person who's been nice to him, presumably Peter's not been an asshole to him, So it's just like, I know their plan is effective, and it's actually pretty clever what they decide to do. But like, I just don't feel good about any of our heroes at the end.
Yeah. Right. But okay, so they do all this. They're back on the roof. They're making the things are actually going well for their plan. But then the only problem is that it's Dr. fucking Doom, and of course he's gonna double cross everybody. So he tries to, he basically comes up with a weird roundabout way to like redirect the powers to himself. He fucking like pulls out a piece of his machine that looks like a button, and then like, it suddenly looks like Play-Doh, and he magically, or with his Doom powers or whatever, molds it into an exact replica of the amulet.
Sure.
Why not?
Yeah. He has some sort of like his suit has like all kinds of weird powers that they reference, like where it's like refrigerated and also superheated and all this sort of stuff. So sure, Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
You've also got a pocket for Play-Doh,
Yeah. It does. All that matters is he made a fake amulet and he's using it to get his powers back. They figure it out. Iceman tries to like create a whole ice shield to stop lightning from coming down, which I think is really cool that he makes like an ice umbrella essentially.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
What does lightning do to ice? Like, does it do something? Does it just like melt it? Does it not hit it? Like, what does
You
it
would
do?
think it would. I mean, I would assume that it would crack it and melt it.
It like burns, like lightning burns things
because
right?
it
like,
goes
sets
through
trees
everything.
on fire.
Because,
and water is conductive, so like it would conduct it. Like,
it would not work as a
shield.
shield. That's
yeah.
I just want to know like what would it look like? Like what would happen in the moment?
Yeah, but Iceman, I don't know. He's a gay Omega level mutant or whatever, right? So it's super ice. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's, even though it doesn't make any sense, it's cool. Doom responds by holding May hostage, which that's like Doom's major miscalculation in this episode, because fucking obviously Frump likes the lady. And I think that this is when he truly like underestimates Frump, because Frump's like, I love the line that he has for Aunt May where he says, she's a better person than I am. Like, who gives a fuck to anyone else? She's the person who was always nice to him, and he recognizes that, and he sees that. He has never not respected her, so he teleports May back to her home. Doom doesn't have a hostage anymore, so the Spider Friends can beat him, get the lightning to strike the amulet. It undoes everything.
Yeah. Frump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does get to save the day in the end. Like, he doesn't really realize that's exactly what he's doing. And like, his intentions weren't always great, but he sees someone that he likes and respects, saves them, recognizes that they're a good person. And I think a better person than I am, I think is really important, that he has actually maybe for the first time gained some sense of self-awareness for what he's become, and then like saves the day even at the expense of his powers. Like, I love it. I think that's a really beautiful little ending for him. I think what makes it sad is like, the rest of this stuff. There's a little bit of hope for it, at least at the end.
We
and
get
a
weird little
cat.
And he does get his cat.
That's the thing. Yeah, because the tragedy of it is that Dr. Doom is like, well, everyone's gonna lose their memories of this because that's just the rules of the amulet, I guess.
The
They're like,
lore
where
of
did that
this
come
amulet, like, we learned so much about this amulet in like 4 total lines. It's so funny because like someone must be holding it when it is struck by lightning, not because if no one's holding it, it's ineffective, but if it gets struck by lightning during the ritual and no one's holding it, no one can ever use it again.
Yeah, it's like disappeared or whatever.
The power just is like, it's just gone.
But then Doom also sort of like, there's other amulets, I'm gonna find them. But I'm like, but if you lost all of your memory of all of this, how are you gonna know to be looking for other amulets?
He just flies, and afterwards he's like, where the hell am I going? Just, you don't see that part. Yeah.
No, it's like a deep freeze computer reset. Like there's some, like he probably has notes about the amulet from before he found it, right?
Or the amulet, when it loses its power, it's actually like erased from existence completely, so no one ever knew that it existed in the first place.
That's why we don't get a sequel.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's all reality warping shit anyway, right?
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. So, you know, and it's like, it's kind of staggered because some people start losing the memories first. Frump loses his memory before the Spider Friends do. So they observe him basically becoming his old self again and being like kind of a sad guy. And he just feels really sad and alone, like he did at the beginning of the episode. But the one little saving grace that he gets is that Mabel, who he maybe wished from the ether, like maybe just created out of nothing, somehow still exists, has not disappeared. When the amulet's power disappeared, she's still there and she still loves him.
Wait, I was gonna ask, because this is kind of like a sad ending in some ways. I was gonna ask, like, in the queer story of this, what does the end of this episode mean for Frump and his like journey? If so much of what this was his like coming out and exploring his queerness and stuff, but if you believe that Mabel was manifested by Frump and not just already in the world, then that's sort of the hopeful punctuation, because he would have sort of erased the experience of like exploring his queerness, but one little element of it like still exists, so his life is still somewhat different and just a little bit queerer than it was before the whole thing happened.
Yeah, I definitely would like to say that, like, I think that is a great way to view it, because like you feel like, okay, Frump's gonna be okay, like he and Mabel are gonna go over to Aunt May's for coffee and he's gonna continue his like queer journey, but in a much healthier way from here on in.
Right.
It's
Mabel is like his it gets better. Like that.
Yes.
I was gonna say, it's like it's the there is still time and I Saw the TV Glow. Is this episode as good as Masterpiece I Saw the TV Glow?
Yeah.
He definitely has like you know like he's out of the influence of like Doctor Doom too, so like he has that like negative influence gone now, so it's just him and Mabel and hanging with Aunt May and things are gonna be okay.
Also, you know, I made fun of it's like multiple times that he says Mabel's voice or says Mabel's name in a really creepy voice. The last time he says it in this episode, you know, he has the same thought where he's going to call her Mabel, but he says it like a normal person. He says it, and I'll call her Mabel. Like he says it normally and excitedly. So it's like, this is like the correct context to be embracing that, where it's like, he's in a healthy place. There's nothing creepy happening. It's like, this is just like, this is the way that he should have started his journey from the get-go, is like having this one little companion that's going to be a healing factor in his life, that's going to let him not feel so lonely, which then opens him up to be able to explore himself and become more self-aware and explore his own queerness going forward, because he has kind of that anchor in his life now that he can put his love into.
Yeah, we don't see him anymore in the series because he's out living his great gay life. He's fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
The fantastic
gay
Mr.
life.
Frump is him at the end because he's turned into something great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
So good. Much.
It's just a Rocky coming out story, and when you bottom line it, you know.
Well, you know what? A lot of coming out stories are rocky and weird and get, you know, kind of fucked up along the way. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Who knew I could love this episode deeply in 2 completely different ways?
Dude. I don't know that we would have pulled all of these interpretations if you weren't here, Chris. This is fucking amazing. This is so good. This episode rocks.
I mean,
so
and we
good.
certainly weren't doing it when we were trying to fit into our own little sort of like, you know, tempered, you know, not queer box.
Yeah. Look, we went on a similar journey to Frump with our podcast where it's sort of like, I don't know, how gay should we make this? And then being like, no, you know what? Put the fucking rainbows everywhere. We're less toxic, I hope, than Frump was when he did it. But we had the same journey of just sort of like, we're putting the fucking rainbows everywhere, man. Yeah, weird aliens. We love our fucking weird aliens and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yes. Good stuff. Faces of the episode. All right, I pulled a couple. I'll send you these, Chris, so you can see them. The first one that I pulled, it's right after Frump turns the kid into a clam. We pulled this one on our original coverage, but it caught my eye again when we were watching it. When he sees that kid, he's looking at that kid like, we can pickle that, is like what he's thinking.
That's
like
amazing.
It's like the creepiest, like that. It's the moment. I think it's his moment of realization that like he has godlike powers, essentially.
Yep.
It's good. The other picture I pulled, though, this is not a face of the episode. This is an ass of the episode. This is a crotch of the episode. Because if we're talking about Dr. Doom being a party bottom, the moment that he gets like dropped to the ground, he gets dropped to the ground head first, and he gets dropped there fucking ass up. His full-on crotch is on display. You can see down his little skirt.
Yeah.
You can see everything.
There's a bulge.
It's incredible.
Yeah. It's
Yes,
very
there's a
like that
bulge
famous Senshi from Delicious in Dungeon.
Oh my god.
It's basically the exact same pose there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
That's amazing.
It absolutely is. And then the last one.
I just pulled this because I like these chuckly little fags together. You know, like I just think they're cute. They're toxic together, and they're toxic for everyone else, but they're cute.
Like this should just be a meme that says like making plans for P-Town, like, and then
right, truly.
Oh my god!
About to ruin some lives.
So good.
See you at Bear Week, fellas.
Oh my goodness. Frump. Still great.
So great. So good.
Thank you.
Better than I remember.
I mean, again, I'm so glad you invited me onto this episode because like, again, like in my mind, it was not this episode, even though I've seen this episode many a times. I think I was thinking of like a 1978, like Fantastic Four cartoon episode with the Impossible Man is what I think I was thinking of. I'm not even certain about that, but yeah, it definitely was not this gay icon here. Thank you both so much for bringing me aboard this absolute madness and strangely profound episode of Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I don't know that there's been another like deeply in-depth queer reading of this show before. So yeah.
Yeah.
And fucking Bobby's in this show. So you know. Yeah. If we leave one thing on this planet after we go, I'm glad that it is the deep, profound queer reading of the Fantastic Mr. Frump.
Yeah, this is kind of, I mean, you know, is there any reason to go on? Maybe we just have the podcast here forever. Like this is the magnum opus. Truly. No, who else could have done this but us, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Chris, I can't thank you enough for this. This is such a fucking blast.
Thank you all so much.
Yeah. If people want to find you and everything you're doing, plug away. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, just look me up on the social medias at Sci-Fi Explosion. I mainly use Instagram, Blue Sky, and Letterboxd at this point. I also have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Sci-Fi Explosion. I broadcast sporadically during weeknights and pretty much all weekend long these days. But the main thing I do is every Saturday morning from roughly 10 a.m. Eastern to 12 p.m., I do Cosmic Cartoons, which I show a lot of old cartoons, and I intercut them with classic commercials, PSAs, and a whole bunch of other weirdness. So please tune in to see that. And Derek and I also do a monthly show called Tokusatsu Thursday once a month on my Twitch stream. Derek basically brings together a bunch of amazing Toku episodes, as well as like music videos and other ephemeral programming, and it's like basically like a 3-hour party one Thursday each month. So yeah, but Sci-Fi Explosion is where you can find me and all the nonsense that I'm up to.
Yeah, I think that Toku Thursday for September would have already passed by the time listeners are hearing this, but I imagine we'll do something for Halloween if we can fit it into the schedule at some point in October. Yeah. Thank you so much again. If you want to support us and everything that Doug and I are doing together, you can do that by going to our Patreon at patreon.com/wallopingwebsnappers. Got tons of bonus episodes there for as little as $1 a month. And check out our Discord. There's a link to that in the show notes. If you want to chat with us, share your queer readings of Mr. Frump and other Amazing Friends episodes. We'd love to hear from you. But Doug, if we want to find you and everything you're doing, where's the best place to do that?
You can find me all over the place at Ikybooley, ICKYBOOLEY. You can listen to me on a podcast called Novel Gaming, where my friend Katie and I catch up on all the books, video games, and sometimes other media we've been enjoying lately. And if you haven't yet, make sure you listen to me and Derek over on Play Comics, where we talked about the Ultimate Spider-Man video game and the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. It's a very cool show with such a simple but like brilliant concept, which is a comic property and a video game based on that comic property. Discuss. So we went on there to talk about some Spider-Man stuff. Derek's been on there for, I believe, a Digimon video game. I will be showing up again sometime soon for an as yet unannounced game in the future. So check out Play Comics. What about you, Derek?
You can find me most places at Derek B. Gale. My other podcasts include Gimmicks, where we look at high concept and structure breaking episodes of TV. And also Lee Carvalho's Potting Challenge, where we look at the Simpsons tie-in video games, as well as pop culture history and lots of Simpsons history, video game history as well. Chris was on our Road Rage episode that would have just come out, I think maybe a week before this episode drops. And that was a really, really, really fun one to do. So definitely check that out if you like Simpsons or video games or Crazy Taxi knockoffs.
If you would like to find other queer creators to talk about media, check out the Glitterjaw Queer Podcast Collective at glitterjaw.com. That includes a monthly show Derek and I do together called Screonk, a Godzilla movie marathon, where we've been stomping through Godzilla's entire filmography. Our episode on Godzilla Tokyo SOS is out now.
We've also been more active on the Falling with Style feed this year. So if you want to check out our episodes that we've done on Elio, we've done episodes on Pixar's insistence on erasing queerness from its stories. The only bad thing that Disney has done in this entire year, obviously. Oh, God. That is our Pixar podcast, if you didn't know. But we've done other stuff unrelated to Pixar as well, including some DreamWorks animation movies like How to Train Your Dragon and Kung Fu Panda, and some other dips into other films as well. So check out that podcast. We got lots going on there.
Yes, visit us on our website at wallopingwebsnappers.com for a full archive of everything Derek and I do together. And follow Walloping Web Snappers on Blue Sky and Instagram at wallopingwebpod, or you can email us at wallopingwebsnapperspodcast@gmail.com. You can send your Dr. Doom Sniffies fanfic to wallopingwebsnapperspodcast@gmail.com.
If someone like photoshops a Dr. Doom Sniffies profile and like accompanying images and like what you would put on there, please.
Please.
Beautiful. Please rate, review, and subscribe on all your podcast platforms. Next week, we're returning to the Spectacular Spider-Man for the beginning of the criminology arc and the debut of Silver Sable as we revisit the episode Accomplices.
Nice.
See you then.